So 50 millimeters was my starting focal length when I really started doing like a lot of photography or street photography in general. It's just a lens that worked really well when I would be doing things like photographing my family and just kind of photographing random subjects. But I've been neglecting this lens for a very long time, and I wanted to give it another shot. I tried to sell it a long time ago, but really just couldn't. Like, I just literally could not sell it. Nobody wanted to buy it from me, so it's just kind of been sitting away in my drawer collecting dust. But really wanted to just break this out to help change my perspective in the things I shoot while I'm out on the streets. Usually 28 millimeters or 35 really isn't like fitting too much in this city, as like the streets just aren't as populated, or I'm not in a lot of situations that call for that lens. So I'm testing out 50 millimeters today, having some fun with it so far. This is actually the second day out shooting with it, and I think what I like most about this is that it changes your perspective. I can't just shoot the stuff I'm comfortable shooting. I can't just shoot the type of regular things I enjoy shooting. I have to really just change my perspective and approach. So I'm really enjoying going about trying to find more abstract scenes and shooting reflections, lights and shadows, just really trying to figure out those type of things I want to shoot. It forces me to slow down and really just think about like my composition and what I'm photographing, and just how I really want my eye to see whatever it is I'm taking a photograph of. So it's nice and sunny out. I'm going to take a few laps around some of these streets, take advantage of a lot of these buildings, these business buildings and apartment complexes that have a lot of windows on them, and see what I can find. So without further ado, let's keep shooting. One thing that I'm enjoying while I'm out is being able to not only explore different streets and different areas to shoot, but I'm taking advantage of camping. That's not, or fishing, whatever you want to call it. That's not something I usually do, and I'm enjoying it because obviously it's just something different. It's stretching like a new muscle. It's testing out my patience for shooting, but it allows me to just like observe and live with the scene and really see more to it than just like the base level of it. I spend more time with it, so I see how it changes and how things like interact and move throughout it, whether that's the light and shadow or a person walking through the scene through time. And I'm finding a lot of value in that. So just making sure no cars are behind me. But yeah, it's just fun because it's different, and it's really making me start to just appreciate this lens a lot more, just the 50 millimeter focal length a lot more. I'm looking at more than just like the subject, and for me that's usually like the person on the street. I'm observing just more things, paying attention to windows and reflections, just looking at different things. So I think that's like a good point of value with this lens, is that it allows you and it forces you to really just look at a lot of things differently. Alright, it's a bit hard to see, but like this scene behind me, these reflections in this window, this is something that I'm really enjoying, like discovering and trying to shoot, because that distortion just adds to like the abstractness of the photo. So I've really been keeping an eye out on stuff like that and trying to take advantage of shooting it. And this is a really good spot, so I gotta like take note to frequently come back to the spot, visit it, and see if I can find anything else. So I'm taking a lot of different streets, just exploring a lot of different areas than I usually would, simply because those streets weren't populated. There weren't a lot of people on them, so they weren't really worth exploring. But using this lens is really forcing me to just get out of that habit, and I'm finding a lot of new things, architectural things, reflections, art on walls that I really just want to take advantage of and shoot. So that's been like super nice. Another thing is my keeper rate, the amount of photos that I'm taking opposed to just like snapping away quick pictures of people on the street feels significantly higher. And I think that's a good feeling mentally, because you're not just like, I'm constantly taking photos of crap. You're slowing down and you're taking time to photograph a lot of things and just put more intention into them. Therefore, you're appreciating what you're photographing a lot more. So I'm gonna wrap this one up here. I am kind of bummed that that did happen, because I feel like that's part of the problem with getting a lot of good photos of people around this city in these more like scenic looking areas, is that they're just so restricted. They don't allow anybody to really come through and do anything except for just walk through. Or I guess if you're like eating lunch, they don't like people just being out in these public areas in the city. They're just very restrictive. If you point a camera in the direction of one of those buildings, they're on you to like kick you out. So you really have to just stick to the main roads, which aren't as beautiful looking. It's really just people crossing the street, and I don't want to capture photos of people crossing the street. I want to find more artistic looking stuff and just kind of implement my style into that. So that's going to be all for today. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'm definitely going to be shooting 50 millimeters a lot more and just exploring these different areas. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.